It's only May, but some celebrities have already destroyed their careers in 2021, and I'm going to be breaking down who those celebrities are in this video. I'm Mackenzie, and let's get into the top 10 celebrities who destroyed their careers in 2021. But before we get into that, most amazing top 10 host Lindsay Ivan is launching a reaction channel called Peach, and if you want to see more of that, make sure to check it out at the link below. Now let's get into the list. In at number 10, Morgan Wallen. Country singer Morgan Wallen was canceled this year after he was caught using the N-word on a security camera in February of this year. Wallen was already on thin ice with the public after he left the SNL crew scrambling to replace him as the musical guest on their show when he broke quarantine guidelines before his appearance. At the time this footage was released, Wallen had one of the most successful country albums ever made. But after the N-word incident, he apologized, saying, quote, "I'm embarrassed and sorry. I used an unacceptable and inappropriate racial slur that I wish I could take back." His music was also banned from being played on many radio stations and was taken out of playlists on Spotify. He stayed out of the press since. In at number 9, Jen Shah. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City cast member Jen Shah was recently arrested for allegedly ripping off hundreds of people in a telemarketing scam. The charges against her are conspiracy to commit wire fraud and conspiracy to commit money laundering, for which her and her husband face up to 30 years in prison. One agent with the case said about the situation, quote, "Shah and Smith flaunted their lavish lifestyle to the public as a symbol of their success. In reality, they allegedly built their opulent lifestyle at the expense of vulnerable, often elderly, working-class people. They allegedly ripped off hundreds of people across the country, many of whom were over 55, convincing them to invest in fake online projects or services." And since the arrest, tons has come out on social media, and it's pretty clear that she is probably guilty. In at number 8, Alex Rodriguez. Now this action is probably not going to destroy his career, but it's definitely going to make people think pretty negatively of him, at least me. I think very negatively of him now. A-Rod used to be engaged to Jennifer Lopez, but they recently split, and many think it was because A-Rod cheated. These rumors started to swirl after reality star Madison LaCroix, who was on Southern Charm, said that they had talked while he was still with J-Lo. One person on Southern Charm exposed that Madison and A-Rod had FaceTimed while they were filming the show. Then on the show's reunion episode, stars of the show also exposed that Madison had been, quote, sleeping with a married man who was a, quote, ex-MLB player. Madison LaCroix responded to these rumors saying that they had talked, but, quote, "He's never physically cheated on his fiancée with me." And since this wasn't the first time it was rumored that he had been cheating, many think this was the last straw for J-Lo. And honestly, I'm so sad. I thought they were a really good couple. And at number 7, David Dobrik. David Dobrik is easily one of the most successful YouTubers ever, bringing his fame over to the mainstream media, as well as creating an app with some massive tech tycoons called Dispo. But that all went down the drain after multiple accusations came out against him. Multiple former members of David's vlog squad came out against him, accusing him of being toxic and using his power to make them do things that they generally wouldn't be comfortable doing. Then a huge insider article came out that exposed that David may have facilitated an environment that led to a woman being by another vlog squad member, Dirty Dom. But the cancellation is not over, and he's now being called out for almost causing one of his friends, Jeff Wittick, to lose his life. Jeff was partaking in a stunt for David's vlogs, but it went horribly wrong, and David took things way too far, leading Jeff to have serious life-threatening injuries to his face and eye. And Jeff is still recovering from these injuries. And at number 6, Sia. Sia's first directorial debut, Music, has essentially destroyed her career. The movie was released in February of 2021, and even before its release, it was already getting widespread criticism. The film is about an autistic girl who is brought under the care of her half-sister after the passing of their mother. Originally, the movie faced backlash for casting Maddie Ziegler to play Music in the film, because she was not autistic. But after its release, it was criticized for not accurately portraying those on the autism spectrum, as well as showing harmful and dangerous restraint methods in the film that were widely condemned by those in the community. In response to all the outrage against her, Sia ended up deactivating her social media accounts. Halfway at number 5, James Charles. James Charles was the most successful beauty guru on YouTube until his most recent cancellation that may have destroyed his career for good. Since the beginning of the year, tons and tons of accusers have come forward with their stories of having inappropriate contact with James. Most of it took place over Snapchat. At one point, Ethan Klein revealed that there had been 17 allegations against James. James first tried to brush off the situation, and when he could no longer run from it, he uploaded an apology video addressing the situation. Right after the apology, big companies and sponsors that supported him didn't take any action against him. But after tons of backlash from the community, James's top sponsor Morphe dropped him, and YouTube decided to suspend his ads. And considering James has been accused of the exact same behavior in the past, this might be the final straw for a lot of fans. In at number 4, Simon Cowell. The legendary American Idol host and record executive is known for turning everyday singers into stars, and he's been a part of the rise of stars like One Direction, Fifth Harmony, and more. But his label was recently exposed for being toxic toward their artists. John and Edward Grimes, known in the music world as Jedward, recently exposed his label called Psycho, with the pair saying that Simon and his label have been taking advantage of artists for years. Other artists like Cher Lloyd and Rebecca Ferguson spoke out about the bad conditions that they've had to work under while under contract. In their tweets, Jedward called One Direction survivors because of what they had to endure while with Simon Cowell's label. And at number 3, Tristan Thompson. Honestly, I'm hoping that Tristan's most recent action ends his reality TV career and affiliation with the Kardashian family, because it was just exposed that he cheated on Khloe Kardashian for a third time. The model named Sydney Chase exposed this on the No Jumper podcast. She claimed that she slept with Thompson in January of this year, and he said he was single. But she added, quote, "It happened, and then I found out that he was not single, and I cut him off." After the news went viral, she addressed it again in a TikTok, where she apologized for disclosing private information about Tristan, but also said that she wasn't lying, and Tristan had reached out to her multiple times. She said in the TikTok, quote, "The last time we had contact, besides when he messaged me after finding out about the interview, it was the day after his daughter's birthday party." After the news, Khloe started sharing quotes to Instagram basically insinuating that she was having a bad day. And seriously, we as a society just needs to drop him for good. I am so over him. And at number 2, Armie Hammer. 2021 started off with an insane scandal involving actor Armie Hammer. The scandal started with a series of DMs being leaked between him and a woman, exposing that he had very dark and twisted fantasies while sleeping with women. After the scandal was exposed, he decided to withdraw from an upcoming film with Jennifer Lopez. But from there, the scandal got even worse. A woman who we believe is the same person that exposed the DMs, exposed on a video news conference that Armie had forced himself on her. After the news of all this, Armie was dropped by his agency and publicist, and he's now being investigated by the LAPD. And finally, at number 1, Gina Carano. Gina Carano, star of The Mandalorian, was recently fired after she tweeted out a controversial message that claimed that being Republican today is the same as being Jewish during the Second World War, implying that Republicans are being persecuted for their beliefs. This got tons of backlash, so Carano ended up taking it down. But the damage was already done, and she was fired by Disney. But this wasn't the first time that she had posted something very controversial, and many believe the company had been waiting for an excuse to let her go. As a result of the scandal, she was also dropped by her agency. And it seems like she probably won't be cast in Hollywood ever again. So that's all for the video, guys. Let me know your thoughts on this one below. And let me know of anyone that I missed that could be in a part 2. But before I go, I'm going to shout out some comments from my video on celebrities that are mean in real life. And we know there are a lot of them. Probably make like 20 parts on that. Zaim said this list should be renamed to top 10 celebrities that threw childish tantrums when they didn't get what they wanted. That is literally exactly what happened. We will literally put that in a list for upcoming videos because that actually seems like a really interesting list. Then Dawn Valerie said, "Great show again, Mackenzie. You're a great host and seem genuine and down to earth. Just love all the host hugs." Thank you so much, girl. I like to think I'm down to earth. I think I can be. Depending on, the occasion. But thank you so much. We love hearing that. Then Bookish Raider said, "Bill Shatner isn't surprising. Also heard how he stole lines from his co-workers in the Star Trek franchise." That's very interesting. But also, how do you steal lines? Like he would literally just say them and they would continue filming and act like nothing happened? Interesting. Well, anyways, that's all for the video today. Thank you so much for sticking around if you made it all the way here. If you liked the video and want to see some more, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel below. I've been your host, Mackenzie Smith. Make sure to check us out on social media, and I will catch you all in the next one. Then Dawn Valerie said, "Great." Oh. Then Dawn Valerie